God is not interested in your past. The enemy will work overtime trying to remind you of all your mistakes, make you feel guilty, unworthy. Don't believe those lies. You're not going to be a son when you perform good enough. You're a son right now. You're a daughter right now. Why don't you come on back into the family? Start believing again. Start dreaming again. You can start a party up in heaven. You can cause God to turn on the music and begin a celebration. When He sees you shake off a slave mentality and start having a son mentality, He says about you, go kill the fatted calf. We're going to have a party. My son, my daughter has come back home. Years ago, there was a man in Europe. He saved up all of his money to come to America. After months and months, he finally had just enough to purchase the ticket on the ship. It was going to take 2 months to cross the ocean, so he took a suitcase filled with food. All he could afford were cheese and crackers. When the other people on the ship went to the big, nice dining room to have their fancy dinners, he would go over into the corner and eat his cheese and crackers. This went on day after day. He could smell the other food. He wanted to join them so badly, but he just didn't have the resources. The last day of the trip, a man came over and said, I can't help but notice you're always over here eating cheese and crackers. Why don't you come in and have dinner with us? The man was kind of embarrassed. He said, I saved up all my money, but I only had enough to buy the ticket. I didn't have enough to buy the meals. The man shook his head, said, didn't you realize the meals were included with the ticket? You had a right to be in here with us the whole time. I wonder how many of us are missing out on God's best because we don't realize the meals have been paid for. We're over in the corner, so to speak, like a servant, eating the cheese and crackers when God is saying, you're a son. Step up to the table. I've paid the price. There's a place with your name on it. You may have made mistakes. Forgiveness has been paid for. Mercy has been paid for. You had bad breaks. People did you wrong. New beginnings have been paid for. Beauty for ashes belong to you. Why don't you come on up to the table? You're struggling in finances. Nobody in your family has gotten ahead. Don't get satisfied with cheese and crackers. Abundance has been paid for. New levels are in your future. Sometimes what's holding us back is we don't really know who we are. We think we're average, ordinary, when in fact we are royalty. We are sons, daughters of the Most High God. When God breathed His life into you, He crowned you with His favor. He put a robe of righteousness on you. He said you've been fearfully and wonderfully made. Don't go through life with a cheese and crackers mentality. Have a son mentality, an abundant mentality.